Hello, 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 and welcome to another Daily Code Fun. Deflux is here. Hello, Deflux. Deflux says, my electric just went out. Your electric car? Your electric outlet? Your electricity for the whole house? What it was. How is your day going, he asks. My day's going great. I've been doing a lot of manual searching through properties and entries in a dictionary, and there are a heck of a lot. So I'm going to show you all what I have discovered so far regarding the exploration into title bars and MAUI and customizing. Hopefully you can hear me all right. My audio is doing some weird stuff in my headphones. I'm not exactly sure why, but that's okay. But I do need to turn everything else way down to include this thing over here. Tyrant's here. 2 coffee 2 code. And so Zoltralord. Hello, fantastic and amazing people. Isn't it such a wonderful day to be a developer? I think it is. This age is fantastic. We have so many cool technologies to work with, so many things to accomplish, so many gaps in the industry that can be filled, and even if there aren't gaps, so many things to redo on your own, maybe make it better. It's just a great time. So Trillord, developers, developers, developers. You got to say it about 20 more times and you got it right. Okay, I think I have everything closed that I want closed. I was working on my actual job up until the last minute, past the last minute, I should say. Okay, I would like for this thing to expand to about there. I would like for you to expand to about there. And then once we launch it, we'll get our browser. Cool. Okay, so that's Soundtrack, that's OBS, that's Visual Studio, and Excel behind it. What? Excel? It's gonna look ugly, but oh my gosh, the information that I pulled out is great. So let's just show what I did to get to where we currently are. I would like to swing on the star and also carry moonbeams home in a jar and be better off than I are. Okay. Actually, it's kind of hard to be better off than infrared. Infrared's pretty cool. We can see things. We can visualize things like space. Okay, we've been playing around with MAUI, of course, as I said in the title. And part of this playing around in MAUI is I'm a Blazor developer for the most part. I'm just going to call myself that, make it blanket statement. I'm more than just a Blazor developer, but we're going to go with that. And we're going to say that that is where the majority of my talents lie, because it's what I've been doing for a really long time and focusing on lately. And so I wanted to use my Blazor skills to make a desktop app. Not just a desktop app, but a cross-platform application. I wonder how a MAUI app would integrate authentication and authorization, same way a Blazor WebAssembly app would. Same way any client-side application that connects to either an API or Azure App Function or just some other backend service that cannot be shared on the client. Dan Siegel did a stream with someone about that topic recently. The authentication and authorization in a MAUI app. Cool. Is this the same thing, by the way? Inquiring minds want to know. Yes, it is. Okay, so I can show you using this. Great. So first, I'm just going to show you our result that we've gotten so far. I think I need to disable the breakpoint in order for this thing to render correctly, though. So I wanted to, long story short, I wanted to use my Blazor skills to make a cross-platform app. They came out with MAUI and the concept of a Blazor Hybrid app, which means that you can use Razor component libraries and Blazor pages to, which are Blazor pages, routable components, to sketch out your UI, to actually create your UI, not just sketch, and add functionality and everything like that, as if you were making a web application, and then you can deploy it targeting Windows, Android, Mac, Tizen, iOS, all of the primary operating systems and platforms. But the thing that I was struggling with was I know how to do theming, like change my colors in a Blazor application so that when I change a theme of an app, it affects the entire application. Excuse me, can you just like come over here just a little bit? Just scoot. I really need to figure that out. But anyway, so I know how to do this for a Blazor app, but I can't get the title bar to couldn't get the title bar to respond to it. And so I asked questions, I did a whole bunch of research. I've been spending days on this topic alone. And we got to a pretty cool point. So right now, if I change the theme in the app, I can deactivate the app and reactivate it, and the theme will apply to the underlying window, which just tells me that the underlying window needs to be told to refresh when I make this kind of change. So that should just be pretty easy for me to find out. But there should be another way to do it, which is to bind the value of the brush that I'm using for the background color to some kind of style or to some kind of dictionary entry. So that's what we were looking at last time, which is awesome because it's much further than I was before. So, I mean, it's looking pretty good. I'm really liking that. So, in our exploration of applying one of the examples that we were given, which is create your own main window, and then on app load, replace the window, the default window, with this main window. But I didn't want to go that far because I want to use whatever MAUI gives me. And as we were filling in each of these resource dictionary entries little by little, because once you replace the window, you're supposed to import or replace all of your dictionaries with this XAML control resources. However, I found something out. As we were populating these here, we didn't even need to use this merged dictionaries, because as soon as we launched the app, all we did was just supply window caption button background, window caption button background pointer over, which is our hover, close button background pointer over, and window caption background. And, oh, except that I'm still applying my colors. But we would see that my title bar would change color with only those added. So that got me thinking. I was telling myself, I was like, hey, what other keys can we overwrite and be able to target various styles in the title bar? Well, I wanted a list of that. And in order to get a list of it, I went to the documentation, I went to the MAUI GitHub page, I went to the WinUI GitHub page, and I just can't. I don't know how to navigate those well enough. So I did what I know how to do. And that is I put a breakpoint on my resources for the current application when targeting the Windows platform. So that's why I have it here in app.xaml. And when we look through this thing here, I noticed that in merged dictionaries, one of the dictionaries we get for free without needing to tell it to do it on our own is this XAML controls resources. That's exactly what the example had us try adding to our merged dictionaries. It's already there, so I don't need to do that. So that's one thing that I can absolutely get rid of. The next thing that I did was I'm like, okay, what do we get for free with that XAML controls resources? 627 key value pairs is what we get. So I looked through that and I'm like, okay, this is what I see. I see, wait, did I do keys? I meant results view. Okay, I saw a whole bunch of stuff that looks like some kind of key that I can use. Bob Ross is here, and so is prog testing. And oh, I didn't actually say hi, President Not Sure, but hi, President Not Sure. I see a whole bunch of keys, which are my resource dictionary entries. Hola, please excuse my French. And as I'm looking through this, I'm like, oh man, that means that there's got to be the Windows caption background. Otherwise, how am I changing that? And I didn't find it anywhere in here. So I kept looking and looking. And yeah, exactly. I found out that there are 3 total dictionaries, merged dictionaries that we get for free that I didn't add to the application. The first one has this thing called theme dictionaries. The other 2 don't. And theme dictionaries has the default light mode and high contrast dictionaries, which I'm assuming is dark mode. And as I'm looking through that, I found out that the dictionary entries that we have for these are much more exhaustive. So if we look at how many keys this thing has, it's 2091 keys. 2091 dictionary entries that we could overwrite by adding our own resource dictionary entry. So that's where I'm heading with this. I'm going to find out which of those I can actually use to do something like change the title color, change the text block title color. Because right now all text blocks are getting, either they're getting erased or I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. But anyway, hello Abaddis. Bob Ross says, I has a brain ache. I do too. So what I ended up doing to try to explore more is I took that entire dictionary, so all 3 merged dictionaries, and I broke them down, and I extracted, I guess, from the dev tool, or the watch list, all of the key value pairs. So this is one view of dictionary 0, which is that XAML controls resources dictionary. And so now I have all of the possible keys from that. But here is the view that I ended up going with, which is not as easy to search through because I just have the key value pairs listed right here. So the key for this one is body text block font size. The value is 14. And then after I got all of those out for each of the dictionaries, I also extracted the 3 themes. So theme 1 is default, theme 2 is light mode, and theme 3 is high contrast. Prog testing says I've been doing F# all weekend. Awesome. So as I'm looking at that, I kind of want to go through all of these and figure out which of these may apply to the title bar and how I can change the color of the text in the title bar. And the weird thing is that the thing that's currently coloring the title bar is a dictionary entry called window caption background. And so this changes the primary color of the background of the title bar. But when I look in here, there is no such value or key. Bob Ross says it's supposed to be 40 degrees Celsius tomorrow. That is warm. that is most warm. We had a heat wave yesterday. What is 40 degrees Celsius? Why am I trying to do a calculator to convert from 40 degrees Celsius? Because you can just do it here in the calculator. So let's start with Celsius. 104 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to be the hottest day in England ever. First high heat warning issued ever in the UK. It's okay. Global warming is not real. Just ignore it. Oh my. Okay. Point is, I don't find any dictionary with a key that matches the thing that we're overriding to be able to color our window. So I don't really understand where this is coming from or how this is working. So I'm hoping that one of these others, which I'm going to tell this thing to stick to the top, and we're going to use our filters to do something like app bar. Contains app bar. So I'm going to start with app bar. Let's see what all we can do with the app bar. And we're going to try to override one of these just to see if it's actually affecting our title bar, caption bar, whatever it's called. Actually, did I already look for caption? I want to do that first. President Not Sure said it won't be the last though. And then Deflux was asking prog testing how F# is going. And prog testing said, I love it. I've never ever said that about programming. Functional programming just makes super sense to me. Thindle says, can we call it Greg? What are you going to call Greg? Me? Hi to you too. Hope you're having a fantastic start of your week. Or maybe it's not the start of your week. Who knows? So yes, we have rating control caption, which is probably not what we're looking for. So let's keep looking at app bar. Contains app bar. Okay, here we go. Media transport controls app bar button height. So I'm thinking we might look at some of these command bar flyouts, but if I'm thinking, or my guess is that the command bar flyout is when you right click, and this context menu is what they're calling a command bar. Maybe not. Maybe it's something more like this. But flyouts, from what I understand, are just things like side drawers. I call them side drawers. They're the things that slide in and out from the side or drop down like this. I think the term that I've heard most designers call that is a flyout, but that's just me saying that without doing any Googling. Yeah, and this looks like an action toggle button. Probably not a toggle button. A separator. Separator. Thinlo says, don't know, I came in just as you said, or whatever you call it. And I just decided to troll. Good on ya. Good on ya. Sub item chevron. App bar button reveal background. App bar button reveal background. What even would that mean? App bar button brush. And yeah. Oh wait, app bar button border brush. App bar button background. So it's things like this that make me think we are now targeting the captions up here, but I'm not seeing the same types of naming that we get from this window caption, because these are called app bar button. Here's something that I'm not overwriting at the moment. App bar button foreground. So let's just try to add, oops, let's just duplicate one of these and try to add app bar button foreground and see if that makes any difference. No, I didn't want to hit a breakpoint. Let me disable this thing. When I hit the breakpoint, I don't get any content on the window. Okay. Is it just me, or does that not actually look pink? That does not look pink. Oh, why did I put solid color? Oh yeah, because that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Okay, what if I turn off my apply theme? Whoa, BitGamey rated simple game dev, and I was hearing him twice. Okay, still not pink. Make it pink. Now make it blue. What is the value type on this? It's a solid color brush. I wonder what's in my Wonder Ball. Okay, that didn't change it either. So the thing is that this app bar button, it's also possible that that's just any button in the app bar, but not in the caption area. So I need something else that's just like app bar background. It'd be really nice if I could find something that's app bar background. Because I'm not trying to add buttons or anything to the title bar. The only thing that I'm really trying to do is just change the color of it. Change the color, get the title on there. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. And look at how many app bar button background. Wait a minute. Oh, I must have had something selected. Okay, so I clicked on Find All, and within the same sheet, I have multiple definitions for app bar background within the same theme, right? Hello? Oh. Wait, what? Oh, I see what's happening. I can see what's happening. Stop that. I had it filtered. Okay, so all that I did was I added collapsible groups, essentially, so I can collapse values, rows. All right, so theme 1 goes from 20, let's just say 41, through 2131. Okay, so there aren't multiples per group. Okay. Maybe I can just sort these. Because I can always resort them. But maybe I can sort this group. By column C. And that should put all of my app bars next to each other. App bar. App bar. App bar. Do we have app bar background? We don't have app bar background. It's not a thing. Okay. Next test. App bar caption button background pink, which should turn the place with our minimize, maximize, and close pink. Pink. Or the buttons themselves on that, not the actual background of the caption area. Yeah. So pink, slightly transparent, is definitely there. So my next question then is, if I put the word window caption in place of app bar. Will that allow me to change the text, the font color of the actual minimize, maximize, and close buttons? Looks like no. No, it doesn't. Not a property. Okay, so then here's the other thing that I have in my brains, which is if we take one of these properties here, let's say app bar button background, and we're in the XAML resources dictionary, XAML control resources dictionary, and I have applied, oh, I'm not going to be able to see that. So what I did when I expanded the merged dictionaries is I went through every single key value pair, and if the value for it was a style, I expanded that value in the add watch, in the watch list, whatever this thing is called. Oh, it's not running currently, but in the watch list, so that I could see what the target type is. And if we took a look at the setters, so let's go take a look at that, just to show why this is not quite behaving the way that I think it should. You can turn on again. Or it's not that it's not behaving the way that I think it should. I can't extract the information that I'm trying to get from it. All right, so let's just go ahead and put this in our watch. And we will get to merged dictionaries. And I guess to make it easier on myself, let's pull out that specific merged dictionary, which is the XAML control resources. So in results view, can I make this little window bigger? No, I can't. Okay. Hopefully you can see that okay. If not, I apologize. Whenever I came across something that was a style, I expanded it. And I get this target type because when you do a style, you supply a target attribute on it. And so this is targeting text blocks, which is cool, but is it targeting specific text blocks or all text blocks? That's question one. Question two, because it has a name, no, it doesn't. Yeah, there's a property that I'm kind of expecting to see. Come here, browser window. We need to do the internet searching. WinUI, actually just do MAUI. XAML styles. So when you do style and then you can give it a key if you only want to apply that style to specific targets and you supply the target type. So what this thing would be telling me is if it had a key attribute, which it does, it's called base text block style. So this right here would be that. And it would be applied to any text block that you wanted. But it's not universally applied, if I'm reading this correctly. So the target type is always required. This is an explicit style where you do style equals static resource label style. So there should be something that is a text block style equals static resource text block or base text block style. Otherwise, if it doesn't have a key, then it's an implicit style. The style object will then automatically be applied to all elements of that type. However, the subclasses of the target type do not automatically have the style applied. Okay. Okay, little by little. Then we have all of these setters. So the thing that I'm really looking for is this list of setters for each thing so that I can find what is using static resource, whatever the key is for the specific brush or color for the title bar. But if I try to look at all of the setters for this thing, then I get something that I don't know how to read, which is, I mean, obviously we know how to read it, but we don't know what exactly this is pointing to. So there is a pointer to the actual object or rule itself, so that whenever another object or whenever another control references this style, it's actually referencing this pointer back to this style rule. But the thing that I really want is the list of actual styles. So like what I expected, maybe this is what I'm trying to say. What I expected to see was, instead of these just being style rules, I was expecting to see at least some of these that were type text block. Aha. Okay, brain. That makes sense. But that's not what's going on. The thing that's going on is I don't see the controls that are being added to the window. So I guess the thing that I'm looking for is the list of controls that are automatically added to the window. Is that more correct? Okay. What is logical children? Why must you be logical children? Why can't you just be children? There's only one logical children. And that one logical children is a temporary wrapper. Platform view. content. Okay. Let's start with W. W. Is there a Windows title bar? There is no Windows title bar. Two children. Windows root view and a W2D graphics view. MAUI content panel. With our UI element collection, which is a layout panel. And that layout panel, I'm assuming, is going to be vertical. AKA a vertical stack layout. Let's just keep digging until we find something. There's the web view 2. That's not the title bar though. So we found the Blazor web view. But we're not finding the portion of the window that is the title bar. So it's not window root view. XAML user control. Is this thing the debugger controls that you get when running a XAML app in debug mode? It's possible, because it has no content and it's currently not showing on screen. And there really is nothing at all that says window caption button background. There has to be something bound to that key for me to be able to overwrite it and see a color change happen in the title bar. Just go as deep as you can. This is going to be bad. We'll decrease the depth little by little. Or maybe increase from 0. I don't know. I need someone smarter than me. It's still not going to work. So this thing didn't say anything about like timing out, but it also didn't say no results found, so that's not very encouraging. Searching, it says. Yeah. have to go deep. Do you want to crash? See, and it's stuff like this when a window becomes unresponsive and you get the system default title bar. It crashed. That makes me think that we are actually supposed to replace the whole title bar and not just try to target and style it. So, okay, I guess I've gone as far as I can with my limited knowledge and understanding WPF/WinUI. So I'm gonna jump back to the working example that we have, which is this one, that tells us it tells us to go into the platform folder, Windows, create that separate main window, and then add those specific things to app.xaml to create the custom title bar. So we're going to continue on with this. Shouldn't have stopped. But I thought we were going to make some headway with just using the properties and overwriting them. And it's still possible we will, but I didn't go far enough to find that out if it's actually a thing. So for now, I am going to turn off the theme changing while the app is running. And I'm just doing that by returning early before trying to apply the app theme. I'm going to leave this commented out because we saw that the merge dictionaries already contains XAML controls resources for MAUI UI application. But I will uncomment these and we'll continue keeping the rest of their styles that they are saying add these. So I am going to add a style. Dang. I really want to type this out by hand and not copy pasta, but it's the style for targeting these buttons up here. That says theme resource. That says theme resource, which we looked in. Dang it. We looked in all of the themes and we didn't find a single theme that says window anything other than namespaces. System color window brush, system color window text color brush. I mean, all of this looks like something that we should be able to use. Yeah, I got a nothing. Other than all of these system things now. But let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. So I'm going to type this in manually. I hope you enjoyed watching typing. We're going to do a styling, and we're going to give this a key of window caption button, which means that we can target these specifically. And this would be each individual button that's up there. I mean, that's close. Border thickness, corner radius. But yeah, anyway, I'm just going to keep typing it out the way that they have it. Hip border thickness first. Self-closing, apparently. Okay, and then we have the background. That is going to be a theme resource of window caption background. So I'm sitting here looking in this would be cool. So I was sitting here looking in the resources that we get for free out of the box, and these are all specific. Oh my gosh, these are all specific to this approach. Oh, that gives me hope. I'm thinking that we can turn this into a dynamic resource. Why does he torture himself like this? I'm hoping this is going to give me an error saying that this dynamic resource doesn't exist. Unknown type dynamic resource. But you know, static resource? I wonder if dynamic resource is just something that doesn't exist in a XAML, Microsoft.ui.xaml. Can you just build? Can you just finish the build? It'd be nice if you just finish the build. How do we make angry face a tap to make it do stuff? Why are you stuck? Build failed. Style object must specify a string for, oh, target type. Button. And I bet you there's still more that I'm missing. I think I see. All right, so two things that I want to check. Will you build with static resource here, now that I have a target type? And the second thing is, will you build with dynamic resource here, now that it's well formed? Yes to the first question, and most likely no to the second question. Correct. Okay. Next question. will I be able to affect the window caption background immediately when changing the style? So we know that this thing works successfully. It's just we have to click off and then click back on in order for that style to take. I ran it, didn't I? That sounds terrible. Absolutely terrible. Okay. All right. I'm not angry at that. Nope. It would have taken effect right away. If it worked the way that I want it to, it would have taken effect right away. Man, it's so close though. All right, we're gonna keep going. I think this was supposed to be window caption button background. No, that says window caption background, which doesn't make sense to me, but that's okay. I'll change you to theme resource. I don't know what the difference between theme resource and static resource is though. Is maybe theme resource what it used to be called? What dynamic resource used to be called? Whatever. Stop asking questions. Just type. But how else am I supposed to explore my brains? Is tab stop? I don't care, really. Oops. Vertical alignment. Top. Okay. So that's one thing. So we're going to make it 32 by 32. I'm not going to make it round the way that they made it round. I'm just going to leave the corner radius whatever its default is. And again, just so that I put it out there in case this is the first video or rerun or whatever, or live stream that you are attending where I'm doing this, but this is all coming from a question that I initially posted on the Microsoft Q&A for why isn't my title bar doing what I wanted to do? And so someone provided this as a sample project, but didn't actually say how to use it in the MAUI app because you're just supposed to know. Where they show fully customizing the title bar, including putting this scrolling text in here that you can show and hide. You can't actually click in there and do stuff with it, but you can show and hide it. And then change the scrolling speed and it affects it. But I don't want these round buttons. I'm okay with not having those. But I took that and I turned it into a separate project that does integrate that sample, which is just a WinUI unpackaged something or other, and put that into a MAUI Blazor Hybrid and regular MAUI app project. right here, and we can see hello. Okay, we can see that it behaves the way that we're expecting it to, with the custom title bar, with the buttons being styled differently, the ability to add content and remove content from to the title bar, to from the title bar. But I don't have my MAUI Blazor app content. I don't have the WinUI, sorry, the WebView 2 showing in the screen. So that's why I'm trying different things as we are going along, so that I don't have to override my main window, my main page. Funky title bar. I didn't come up with it, but it's the proof of concept. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Windows app.xaml. Okay. Our next thing. So if I run this now, we should have the green, yellow, and magenta colors. So the minimize and maximize buttons are going to be green, and then the hover over color is going to be yellow. Actually, no, all of them are going to be green. And then the hover over is going to be yellow for the minimize and maximize. And then pink for, or what color are you? Magenta. It's retro. So there's yellow and then magenta. So this is absolutely working. If I change the width in here to something like 102, just to see a big difference, I wonder if it's actually going to take effect. It doesn't. It doesn't do anything. Let's keep going then. I wish this was commented to at least let us know what's supposed to happen with each of these properties. Okay, as mentioned, I'm going to ignore the corner radius. Here go my template. It's just interesting that you can write just about any XAML thing like this. I'm guessing. So setter.property value equals, yeah, probably not. Name equals probably, but anyway, point is, it looks like you can split up a single XAML tag multiple ways. I wonder if it would look something more like style.target type, and then you'd put the value in the middle. Do you build if I do this? No, it does not. It says you must have target type specified on. Wait, Setter object must specify a value for the value property. So I wonder if it really is just value. Unexpected attribute in parse rule element body attribute and tag. Anyway, Deflex says, I think I found out why I'm getting that 400 error. What it is. Is it that signal R doesn't, well, you said it has nothing to do with signal R, so I never brought this up, but signal R doesn't use a HTTP context. Oh, it's probably this value that was missing content. Whoops. Has trouble rendering in this scope? I don't know what that means. Target type, botón, border. Layout root. Maybe I'll be able to understand it. If I just keep typing, we'll understand something. Template binding, which again looks like dynamic resource to me. Background sizing. Template binding. Maybe this is how you create custom controls in general. And these are all properties that you can add to this button. So button background sizing. And this is actually a control called template. I don't know. So much guesswork. Deflex is saying, it has trouble rendering in scope, Microsoft ISP.NET Core, components authentication, access token not available exception to that endpoint. I think it's trying to say it's not valid. Access token not available might be saying it's not valid. Maybe? I don't know. Okay. Thank you so much for that, Copilot. And I wish I could understand what any of this is. But without IntelliSense, it's not like I can even learn by trying to read documentation on it directly from Visual Studio, that is. Maybe I could go to the repo and figure out what each of these things are, but it would be a lot faster if I could just hover over things like template binding, get some IntelliSense that says, here's the documentation for template binding. And it's not unfathomable, because if you look in here, if I did exactly this, X key window caption button, then I'm getting all sorts of IntelliSense. And here we can see that it's like still not getting IntelliSense for control template. I mean, maybe I am, but I'm not getting documentation. So normally you would have XML markup so that when you hover over a specific thing, you would get descriptive information. Hey, I left the room and came back apparently. Welcome to chat, says Twitch. Thank you. Which also makes me wonder. What's your namespace? Yeah, so this is things that we can, these are things that we can get. So we can give it a key. I don't know how to give it a key though. Oh, yes I do. X colon in this case is what? This thing, which I think is Microsoft.ui.xaml. Yeah, it's so backwards. Whenever you see, at least from what I've seen so far, whenever you see a rule like this or an attribute like this, then you're pretty much saying this thing dot key dot set, or this thing dot set key for this object, and then the value that goes in. It's weird, but I don't know. I was hoping that there's a way to make this entire style programmatically. And Deflux found some stuff that actually gives him an error. Access token not available, exception. And it says specifically we're in his code, line 134, in index.razor. Which I'm assuming is a HTTP request. Visual state group. Common. Oh my goodness. Common states. Visual state. Normal. Visual state setters. That is not helpful at all. Thank you though. Setters. Setter. Target. Layout. Root. Background. Okay, so layout root is the name of this border. And if we look back at what we've done with this so far, border is specifically something that we declared. in main window.xaml. And so it's saying for this border, when we're setting the background, we can do that using normal visual state, whatever that means. To set the layout root, which is going to be the stack panel, I assume, background color to window caption button background color. No idea. No clue. Shop phone. Holy cow, you touch your phone and it's like, hey, hey, you picked me up. Hey, hey. I don't know what you want. No idea. It's the menu button. Browser crashed. I apologize for any inconvenience it may have caused you. Target. Path. Stroke. Okay, so there is a Windows caption foreground. Oh, right, but this is the window caption foreground for... But this doesn't specifically say the buttons. So there should be a window caption foreground color. But it wasn't defined up here. I'll just do white. The majority of my background colors, white shows good on them. But there was an error. Unexpected property element. So I thought that by typing these in myself and going through them slowly, I would find, or I would understand it a little bit more. But obviously, I'm lying to myself because I don't get this one bit. Setter, property equals template, setter.value. Are you going to give me like a line number or anything? Yeah, you are. Yeah, that's right. I know what happened. This thing IntelliSensed me to death. Okay, what do we got for our title bar? Can we see the text in it yet? No. So we have our background color and everything, but I can't see the actual text. For my title. Hello, Dukasoft. ¿Cómo te va? I promise this will be fun one day. Yeah, okay. So the only color that we are affecting at the moment is the button background color. I don't have a title. I'm wondering if I can add the title here in my car. Native window dot title. Take us off. Oh, I'll be back one day then. See ya. When it clicks, it's going to be like, I understand everything. It'll be like I found 42. Come on. Come on, you little jerk. So, no title bar, or I mean, no title in the title bar. But I am affecting the colors somehow. First of default. If cur window so now default says, so now I'm back to, I don't think it's including the token in the request. This is, yeah, I think you're supposed to construct the request itself and not put it into the HTTP client. So, yeah, I don't know that for sure though. And this is going to be a Microsoft UI SAML controls window. Not controls. Okay. Is this a thing? Oh, if you guys could feel how like overheated my head is from trying to understand this. Like it's almost like I'm PvPing. My my hands get super duper cold because all of the heat goes to my head. Yes, yes, good idea. Drink. I finished it. I emptied it. Do we have a cur window? We have a cur window. Is the native window a Microsoft UI XAML window? It is a Microsoft UI XAML window. Can we set the title? The title's already set. The title's already set, but we can't see the title. Yes, we can. I don't know if you could see that. Hello, Tommy. Good morning, I think. I don't know if you could see it in this little thumbnail here, but for a half second, and I don't know what this is going to mean to us, but for a half second, I wish I could move you over. For a half second, I could see the title bar with the title in it, and then it got overwritten by the colors and stuff. You can't see it happen. But this thing had the standard title bar with the title showing through, which is just telling me, no, 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 that's not what I meant. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. Which is telling me that the thing that is actually happening is I am covering up the title bar with background color stuff. So if I got rid of this pink background, we should see the title bar showing through. Which doesn't make this a background. It makes this a, well, it's still a background. It's just the background on a different layer. And also, as you can see, this window caption foreground is not affecting the title bar color. Come on, something has to make sense eventually. It's like everything that we're doing is putting a veneer on the underlying title bar, and we can't do anything to the underlying title bar, even though it looks like we're messing with the control buttons. Whatever. Okay, here's another common state, or here's another visual state, I mean. So visual state is now saying this is what the thing looks like at rest for common states. Nope. Nope. Common states are just states that are known throughout the entire application. Visual state is the actual event that is happening to the control. The first visual state is whatever it should look like when there are no pointer or hover or selected or focused settings. The next one is when we're hovered over with either a pointer or some kind of thing that provides hover state. There is a pressed version that will take effect when you're holding your finger on it or your mouse, or if it's an air tap. At least that's my guess, that it would also go into any kind of input device. The next one is, so there's a comment for this. Why can't you comment everything? These two states are only for close button, needed because they use fixed colors for a theme and cannot be changed by the user. For when you're holding, probably. But that's button pointer over. Yeah, and again, these are theme resources that are not defined, from what I can tell, anywhere else in this file. Yes, they are. Oh man. Okay, let's just keep going then, because it looks like maybe we'll understand something else if we keep going a little further down. And then our next state is close button pressed. So again, these two are only for close buttons. So I guess these are user-defined states. We had ice cream last night. Yesterday was National Ice Cream Day. Or so I heard. But Thindle said, "Gah, it's warm. I just had way too much ice cream." I can't do your accent. I tried. National what now, Awesome Day? National Ice Cream Day. National Ice Cream Day 2022. Oops, 2022. Sunday, July 17th. That was yesterday. And we had ice cream. It was melted by the time I got here. Okay, tell me what this thing is now. So this is declaring the path, I think, that is used up here. Somewhere? Where did we see path? Path stroke. Okay, I need to copy and paste these because I think I may have screwed some of it up. Because it's hard for me to keep track of this stuff. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it yet. But we'll get there. I'm not giving up. How far down did I copy? I may have copied a little too far down. I wasn't there yet. Okay, that's better. A bar of chocolate. No, said sorry. I totally didn't read all of your chat, but Dugasoff first said, "Too much ice cream, is that even a thing?" Then Thindle said, "I'm a smart man. I sent a bar of chocolate to South Africa once. It was no longer in bar form when it arrived." Hey, a smart man. Okay, what does this thing do? Minimize, maximize states. And these are outside, these are their own visual groups, which probably has to do if the window is maximized. Hello, APOC. If the window is maximized, then the button for the maximize looks like the two overlapping squares. So if I did this, we get the two overlapping squares. And if it's normal, then it gets the one square, which is probably what this is. But who knows? Comments won't tell you. Okay, and that is the bottom of the barrel. Then this path here is actually outside of the visual state groups. I will add extra spaces to visually separate ideas. I hate extra spaces. But right now I need it to to chunk things together. Oh. I wish I had the resource of a MAUI developer just hanging about, like someone that actually worked on MAUI or WinUI to explain the things to me. But I'm just going to keep watching videos and trying to figure it out that way. So that actually finishes out this style. Then we're going to override Windows, Window Chrome style. That's a mood. Oh man. And we're going to talk through it. Here's a copy pasta. I shouldn't have copy pasted. You needs to have at least 10 years experience with MAUI. Oh my goodness, Duke is soft. That's a blow to the gut. Yeah. Thank you, President. Not sure. Okay, so it's another style. We're targeting content control. And this is going to target, oh no, any content control in which we apply Window Chrome style to. So I'm going to put this in the same order that you have this one up here, which is style X key. Consistency. Consistency. Setter, property, template, setter value. Okay, so this is going to be a template that we can specify what? These are these actual properties that get specified on this or something? I don't know. I don't know. Do you have an experience with .NET MAUI? Currently, yes, and it's not a great one. Like, okay. Let me qualify that. I had a blast putting together the MAUI app that I worked on for my actual job. All I did was made a Blazor UI. Actually, all I did was made a Blazor server application and then took the component library and shoved that into a MAUI app. I just said, hey, MAUI, reference this external library named whatever.blazor UI and use the pages from that as routable pages, use the components from that, and do some dependency injection stuff, and it worked right out of the box. And it's beautiful. It took me 2 months. 2 months to completely finish the UI remake of an existing desktop application using Blazor. And it's like fully, the UI is fully functional. There are no issues, no glitches that I'm aware of. Of course, it needs testing and all of that fun stuff, but it went super duper fast. However, the one small bane of my existence, of my experience with MAUI, is customizing the title bar such that if I change the theme, yeah, here's a great example. If I change my theme to blue, the title bar in Visual Studio updates with the rest of Visual Studio. So this is exactly what I'm doing, except that my theme picker, my eyes, my theme picker is in a Blazor web view. And so it's in Blazor components. But the same class that is driving the colors in my Blazor component is available to the underlying MAUI application. And so when I detect a change to the theme there, it's going to behave the same way that doing it directly in the code behind of a form or of the window would do it. Right? That's the hope. Yeah, I just wonder if I can override any one of these X keys. Ah, I gotta understand this one. But first, let's just run this. I have not replaced the main window yet, and I think that's going to be a thing that breaks it. Actually, something else broke it. The name window does not exist in this context, right? Can you tell me what was called just before this? Probably not. Threads? Threads? There you are. Oh, I had a dream about this. I didn't even realize you were already working with it. I just got a YouTube recommendation called Learn.net MAUI, so I wanted to ask you. Absolutely. So the application that I have that is working just fine looks like this. Well, the application that I have working for the client, I can't show. I just can't show. But the overall functionality of the app can be seen if the price is right. It looks like this. So here is a shell, here's a window, here's a whatever you want to call it when targeting windows that has a title that I'm able to set. It has the minimize, maximize, and close buttons. And all of the UI that you see here, all of the content within the main window is a Blazor component library with routable pages and all of that. So if I click on counter, this is actually a route that happens. It routes to app slash whatever I called counter page. So it works exactly the way you would write any Blazor application, Blazor server, Blazor WebAssembly. It's the same. Well, if a client is not one of your viewers, yeah, but there's an integrity thing, you know? So the Blazor portion of the app knows how to respond to theme changes. And the way that it does it is I apply a class to body based off of the selected theme. Simple as that. This one's theme grain. This one's theme kohi. This one is theme boo. Duper duper simple. Duper super simple. However, every attempt to change the color of the title bar has failed me. I may as well do this. And what I did find out though is that I can change the colors of certain resource dictionary entries. So for example, X key Windows caption background. Instead of setting it manually in this MAUI resources resource dictionary, I'm setting it in the code behind when my theme changes. So this listens for theme changes in the code behind for app.xaml, and that works beautifully. When I load the app initially, I set it to be theme kohi by default. And when it actually runs, we get theme kohi by default, but no title, because the background is covering up the original title bar and the title underneath. And these buttons are all the original caption buttons styled to the way that I told them to be styled. And when I change my color theme, it doesn't immediately update, but you can see that when a re-render happens, it updates the color the way that it's supposed to. Same thing with the rest of the title bar. I make it inactive, I reactivate it, and now the color takes. So I need to figure out what is going on. What I can do to make this thing re-render the title bar when I do a theme change. And how do I get the title to show up? And maybe an icon. So those are my primary goals currently. That's terrible. And so what I was doing is following an example that showed me how to, how do you test different Windows releases and if the program supports an older .NET framework. The program is not going to support an older .NET framework. So the program is going to be modernized and it's going to run on the latest .NET. I don't have to worry about supporting older versions of .NET. However, the operating system itself matters. Yeah, and there's no well, I don't know Dukasoft for sure. If there was better documentation, I'd be able to find it by now, but I haven't been able to find it by now. But I'm testing it on a Windows 11 machine and a Windows 10 machine, and then they do have a what are they called? Lab that has older Windows. Yeah, I tried that though. So here, and I made sure that the window does exist. So I could do, wait, this is in for each. Down here, var native window equals current application dot handler, nope, dot windows dot first or default dot handler dot platform view, and cast that to anyone microsoft.ui.xaml.window, which is the native window when running targeting Windows platform. And if native window is not null, then I don't know what to put here in order to get it to re-render. I tried doing visibility change or visible and visibility change. but I really don't know how to get it to re-render from here. All right, and while we're waiting for 1 second, I'm gonna look through this to find out what exactly caused it to error after copying and pasting all of this stuff. No worries. And I really do mean no worries. Not just 2 seconds, maybe. Okay. So my entire styles dictionary. Okay, so here's the first thing that I want to check is update layout. Yeah, if I saw anything that said anything about layout, or it's got set title bar, activate, close, dispatcher. I saw a dispatcher. Show me everything. So dispatcher queue is what I have. What's core window? I don't remember seeing core window before. There's a UI context in there. I like that. An activation mode. Oh, wow. And there's a dispatcher in there. Do you have an update? Update? What was it called? Update layout? No. Okay. Let's go slowly. We have visible. There's this UI context. Touch hit testing, size change. Bunch of events that I could subscribe to. Okay, key state, flow direction. Yeah, so there's this dispatcher that I could try doing invoke empty delegate dispatcher priority render. I could try that. I wonder if we can also try changing the activation mode. Are you get only? It's get only. Okay, so let's try this dispatcher. And dot invoke. Hello. Hello. Oh crap. We don't have dot invoke. We can check to see if it has thread access. There's run. We could try that. Oh, there's also process events. Ooh, and you can also use Hwind. We can definitely get Hwind from native window. I don't know how to do it off the top of my head, but we definitely have examples of doing it like 60 times. Okay, so here is, oh my goodness, let me get back to, look, you close. Get out of my way. app.xaml. Nope, wrong app.xaml.cs. It really is this one. I was in the right file already. Okay, so we have the H window, and then here is a Stack Overflow answer. By the way, Tyron is the one that is helping me here in chat, as per usual. And then we'd have to use all right. Okay, so I'll put this in my window helpers. This should be a good place for it. All right, are you going to be angry at us? Instead of form, this is just the hwind. Because that looks like the handle itself. What do you say? No, phone. It is not time yet. Quit line. Oops. All right. What is your parameter supposed to be? Yeah, int pointer hwind. So let's just give us that. All right. So then here is force paint from window helpers. Oh, except that was an extension method, right? No. Now it is. All right. Well, let's give that a shot then. First, I want to see if it actually calls that method. This will be the last thing we do for today, but I'm really, really close, and I know it.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I got a great feeling about this. Okay, so native window is not null. Here's force paint. There is send message. Okay, so we know we can do it. It didn't cause any errors.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Let me get rid of my even Deflux has a bad feeling. All right, let me get rid of my breakpoint and right line. Repaying. All right, we should be able to see this message show up down here in our output. Looks like we're going for a day 4 on this. Okay. Yep, and there it is, trying to repaint. So it actually did try to repaint. Dang. Just repaint. Look, it works. I can click off of it and click back on it, and it works just fine. Just repaint. Baka. And it is trying. It's trying really hard. It's like I'm trying to repaint, but it's not working. We'll try harder. So anyway, we will check in this code as our current attempt. and exploring ways to tell the underlying window to remate. Okay, so that's going to be in GitHub as our latest progress. We do have a working example of fully replacing the title bar and window, but then that one has its own challenges. So that's where we're going to head in tomorrow's stream. I'm just going to go ahead and fully implement the example that we have. And from there, we should be able to, full example being, use this main window here as the apps window. And the challenge that we have with this one is we don't have in main window the WebView 2 or Blazor WebView. And so I'll need to figure out how to add that into a Microsoft.ui.xaml window, this thing. But we'll figure that out in the next video. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. We're going to win. We're going to figure this out. I'll keep picking at it today. I got really close with finding out what all of the dictionary entries are. But for now, I hope the rest of you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be hanging out in Discord voice channel after I go grab a snack. I was here, AFK 99.9%, but I was here, says Live Coding. I believe you. I believe you. Your percentage is going down now. You are not 4.9's availability. Anyway, that's it. Have fun. I'll see you in the next time. I'm here every day. I'll be here at 10:15 tomorrow, though, 15 minutes earlier than I was today, because I have a meeting. Okay. Ciao. Bye. Tschüss.